Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Heavyset Podcast. My name's Ryan.
I'm Justin.
And I'm Chris.
Chris and his 1980s pencil mic.
Makes it easier to pass back and forth.
Yeah, I guess that is true. How you guys been doing?
I've been all right. I've been doing okay. It's been a long week, but a good week.
A little warm.
Well, it's hotter than a Pacific Coast nutsack outside. But we're making it. I've been going out to Turtle Rock quite a bit, so that's been nice.
What is Turtle Rock for the people that don't know?
For the people that watch us should know, we filmed a whole video out there.
You can't just assume that everybody has seen every video and everybody knows everything.
For people who don't know, Turtle Rock is what do you call it? What would you call it? It's not is it a creek?
Yeah, it's a creek.
Basically a little creek where the water's coming fresh off those Ouachita Mountains. It's cold as balls in there. And by the time we experience this, by the time you get there and walk down there, you're already hot and sweaty. So when you jump in there, makes you feel good.
Justin, you been doing all right?
I've been doing all right. Been working. That's about it. Working in this freaking heat.
Yeah, I've been feeling for you from my little place where I've been working at the AC.
Every time I leave, I see you in your comfortable office over there. You just wave at me and blow me a kiss every day.
Yeah, give you a thumbs up. Like, yeah. Justin looks like he just walked out of the sun.
Ryan's got a sweater on. He's like, oh, sorry, I got a little cold in here with this nice, cool AC.
Oh, I got to write you out. Let me take off my mittens. Guys, I got a question for you. Let's just jump right into it. I know we got a lot going on today. I want to talk about rock bands.
Rock bands?
Rock bands, you say? I kind of want to talk a little bit about the state of rock music right now, as opposed to, say, the last 50, 60 years. And ask the question, who will be the next big rock band? Because I kind of feel like it's kind of a strange time in music right now because there's really not a big rock band in popular culture. And I feel like, personally, when you look back over the last 50, 60 years, we have always had a big rock band kind of dominating the airwaves. Say, it's going to be so much weird since everybody can see y'all rolling your eyes at everything I say now.
I would roll my eyes at you. Justin was adjusting his glasses, and I thought he was being cheeky with it.
Taking them off, cleaning them. I don't know. But
tell us more, Ryan.
You give me both mics. But, okay, you got, for examples, I'm just going to throw out some examples, not covering every major rock band, but, you got the Beatles, Led Zeppelin. You can go back and look at the Eagles. Guns N' Roses, Creed. I brought them up. Talked about them before we even started recording. Nickelback, Green Day, Oasis. And I know I'm talking about bands from all over different parts of history here, or different time frames, but they're all bands that were huge rock bands, had their time in the sun, and dominated, and then kind of faded, to the back burner a little bit. And it feels like there's always kind of been one, whether it be one I've mentioned or Nirvana, but a band you could point at and be like, they're one of the biggest bands in the world right now, and they're a rock band. And right now, in rock music, we don't have that. Or in my opinion, we don't have that. What do you guys think?
Rock music's been dead for years, boys. Let's face facts here.
I really kind of agree with you.
Remember back in the early 2000s when, you would still hear rock, on the radio. It ain't like that no more. Rock. Not saying that rock music is dead, because there's obviously still rock music, still good rock bands out there.
But I understand what you're saying. When you make that comment, I know what you're saying. It is no longer a huge part of popular culture. And when I was in high school, you would listen to the top 40, like, the biggest songs or Billboard top 40, whatever, and rock music would always be scattered through there with, of course, it's straight pop and rap and like the hybrid acts. But you would have that music scattered through there, and you look at those charts now, and they're not there.
I think things are, cyclical. I think it'll come back around again. It's just at the time, right now, it's dead. But at some point, you'll have some new act come out, and they'll get popular, and they'll bring more musicians to the limelight, and they'll get popular, and rock will be back, so to speak.
My thing is, it feels like, you're saying rock will come back, and I 100% agree with you. But if it feels like over the past 50 or 60 years, I keep saying 50 or 60. I mean, I'm sure it's longer, but as far as back as what I listen to musically, like there's always been a rock band that has been popular. Like different styles. Of course, different styles. Leonard Skinner. Like Southern rock, Guns N' Roses. Kind of like a straighter thrash metal hair band to an extent rock. Then Nirvana, grunge rock. I'm not, different styles of rock. But right now, it doesn't seem like any style of rock is, whether it be alternative rock or whatever, is popular. But maybe it's just me because, I'm in my 40s now and I'm just not hearing it. Like, is there actually a popular rock bands?
The rock as we know it, it's not mainstream anymore. There is no mainstream popular rock bands. I mean, you look at like bands we know are still. Nickelback just put out an album. Wasn't that great? But I mean, they're not, and they were a very mainstream rock band in the early 2000s.
Another thing about these rock bands, really and truly, if you look at it, I'm talking about like their peak, where they are just like in the zeitgeist, the upper echelon. A lot of times, if you notice, it only lasts for like one album. One album, like that cycle of support for that album. And then they start kind of slowly diminishing after that. Whether it be Guns N' Roses and Appetite for Destruction, Nirvana, Nevermind. You got Nickelback, All the Right Reasons, Creed, Human Clay. But you guys kind of see what I'm saying. It's even when these guys do dominate, it's kind of like, they have probably 2 or 3 years at the top, and then it kind of starts slowly trickling down.
I would say that's typical for most artists, I'm sure, but probably not except for like your super modern pop stars like Taylor Swift or all those people like that. But rock is just, I don't know, it's just a different. What sucks about it is I love rock music the most.
Oh, yeah. I think all three of us do, which is why I thought this would be a good topic.
And I listen to everything, but it's just like, it's the least like, I'm not going to say it's the least like genre out of all the genres of music, but you know what I'm saying. It's not popular. People don't like it as much, and it sucks. But what you hear a lot of nowadays, like I listen to a lot of like alternative stuff. But like now what alternative rock is nowadays is like basically how like a normal person, if a normal person heard alternative rock, they would say this is pop. This is pop music. Or really it's kind of what I would call pop rock music. But that's what I've gotten into. Because that's what the majority of bands are like that now that are getting some radio play. But it's a lot of pop rock stuff. Some alternative pop rock, what I would call.
Yeah, but I guess it's just like ain't on my radar.
Like the 1975.
I do like those guys. Yeah.
Bands like that. Bands that people will make fun of me for listening to. But I just love those bands. That's the kind of style I'm talking about. Now, I live in that world a lot, like bands like the 1975, Coin, Bad Sons,
the Midnight.
Camino, the Midnight. The Midnight's more of a, I used to, you can call them a pop band, more like an 80s synthwave, retro style pop
but
band.
but could still be classified as rock.
Yeah, you can put it in there. Yeah, nowadays, like, what is it? Like, it's so there's a lot of ways just to skin a cat in the rock business, boys.
Yeah, lots of ways to skin cats.
Golly. I've never heard of any of those bands you just mentioned.
Well, I do nothing but listen to music, so I know a lot of useless bands.
Oh yeah, we all love music. That's why I thought this was also a good reason to bring this all up.
Yeah, I don't listen to a whole lot of stuff. I don't just sit around and listen to music anymore. I've just got so much going on. So a lot of music I listen to is still the same bands I listened to like in high school or right out of high school. I'm not discovering a lot of new bands. Plus, I'm not really into like rap and pop and stuff like that. So there's just not as much out there for me to listen to.
Don't let this guy in the center here fool you. I know it wasn't 3 years ago. This guy was blasting like every Limp Bizkit album there was. Like a huge fan. And Eminem, that's all J-Bug listens to.
I do have Behind Blue Eyes on my playlist.
the most low-key song.
Yeah, I love that. Wow.
That is a great cover of that song.
Yeah.
Hey, Limp Bizkit, I listened to their CD the other day. I don't know what it is about them, but I have to, like, every so often, I just want to get in my car, turn the music all the way up, and just listen to some Limp Bizkit.
It's always going to be when you're doing like a nighttime drive, is it not?
Yeah, usually when I'm like taking all those back roads, I just got that music. I got Hot Dog playing.
I think what's crazy to me is to see how old Fred Durst looks. Have you seen videos of him recently?
Yeah. Hasn't he had a lot of health issues?
I'm not sure about that. I just know I've seen videos of him playing shows, and it doesn't even look like him anymore. He's got this big white beard. There's one where he's like wearing a cowboy outfit.
Yeah, walking around with a walker. It's like,
And people hate Limp Bizkit. And I understand why, like, people, because it's just a very, I could get where they get the hate comes from, where the hate for them comes from. But I don't know, but ever since I was a kid and I found them, it's like I really like their guitarist Wes Borland.
yeah.
The reason why I like him because I like the way, I can't even tell you what style of guitar playing he does, but his style and what he brings to the music, I always thought just elevated them so much because they didn't have him for a while. He left the band and it wasn't near as good. But also, what I liked about Limp Bizkit was, and this also has to do with Wes Borland, was that everybody was unique and different to me in their own sort of way. Fred Durst kind of this like weird hip hop dude, like just rapping guy. Their drummer was really solid, but then Wes Borland had all this face paint. They always wore these different weird costumes, but I love stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I just always
It felt like a mash of styles, and then you listen to their music, and it also just felt like a mash of styles.
Yeah, it like new metal, like all that. I love new metal.
Yeah,
like that type
I
of
do
thing,
too.
and like, oh my gosh, that's gets me going, boys.
I also want to comment on something else you said about Limp Bizkit because it's 100% true, and I just like to talk about it for a second about how people hate them. But what's insane is, things fall out of style and they'll become, back in style again. And that is so true of rock bands. I guess any artist in particular, but it feels like rock bands, it happens all the time. But you look at Limp Bizkit and they were huge in the late 90s, early 2000s. Limp Bizkit, one of the biggest, maybe the biggest rock band of the year 2000 or just right in that era. Had a huge rise, and then like you said, like 10 years ago, maybe like 2010 or whatever, they couldn't hardly sell any albums. Like they just fell off the map. But it does feel like it's coming back around, and their popularity, like that nostalgia, now nostalgia is a part of it, they're slowly ticking back up. And that's the same thing with Creed. I brought them up because, they came out, were huge, and then they became a punchline, And now they have a reunion tour that's getting ready to kick off this year. I've already got a ticket for it. I mean, me and some buddies are going to go watch one of their shows, and they're selling out shows. They're being on commercials and different stuff, and it's like they're being accepted again. And it's just kind of interesting how things come back around. And Justin, I think you said that too.
Yeah, like I was saying, things are cyclical. Like Creed, I've been seeing where Creed's getting a lot of popularity again.
Exactly. It's kind of for us. I would say it's kind of neat because we always they never fell out of popularity with us.
Yeah, I kind of wonder if they'll put out another new album. You know, they broke up and put out that fourth album. I can't think of the name of it right now.
Full Circle.
And I wonder if this buzz that they're generating with this tour and everything, they'll get them where they're putting out new music again.
Yeah, I'm gonna go watch them in November this year. I'm looking forward to it. I saw them in 2001 at right around close to the peak of their popularity. I saw them in 2009 for the reunion tour, and it was like a different stage in their career and everything. It was kind of interesting. So I'm really looking forward to comparing 2024 Creed tour or show to those ones and kind of seeing if it's kind of, I don't know how to put it, like kind of pepped back up or like they're bringing a different kind of new energy than they did in 09. Because I kind of get the feeling because of the resurgence they've been having and the acceptance they've been given that they're going to be more like they were back in 2001 in their heyday. Because I think they'll maybe appreciate it more that they're being accepted again or whatever. I just kind of think about that stuff when I see bands multiple times, especially when they're all spread out.
You talk about but I think I know what you're saying though, and I think it will be like that because I think that they all realize now as a group that they realize the appreciation that people really have.
Yeah.
So now I think that this would be a second chance or another opportunity for them to soak up the old days and to relive some of the old days and just to have fun with it. And I think by all accounts, it seems like everybody has good relationships within the band themselves or Scott Stapp with everybody. I know that's been a problem in the past with them.
Yeah.
So it feels like everybody's on good terms and in good spots in life. So maybe that'll lead to a new album. Maybe it won't. But I want to talk about, before we get off this, talk about current rock bands, like current big rock bands. Two that I can really think of is that were, and one of them is Greta Van Fleet. Do you remember? You remember them?
Oh, yeah.
Justin?
They really sound a lot like Led Zeppelin.
Basically, yeah, are basically a carbon copy of Led Zeppelin, which when they first came out, they were like, nah, like we don't even know who Led Zeppelin is. Like, but obviously they were copycats.
Yeah, that's weird that they would even say that.
Yeah, but I understand they were trying to get away from it because when they first were releasing music, from what I remember, I'm trying to think of that song. I think it's called Highway Tune or some video they got.
They got the Safari song.
Safari, yeah, I can't remember what album that's called, but
has fire in the title.
Yeah,
anyway,
something. Black Smoke Rising, maybe. Anyway, they looked like a rock band, but they didn't have that like 70s look or whatever. But now, if you look at them with their last album, they really leaned heavy into that 70s style of clothing, 70s style of music, and the more like the Led Zeppelin feel, which I thought would have been good for them because it brought them back and made them popular because of he sounds exactly like Led Zeppelin.
Yeah, he sounds just like Robert Plant.
And then the look they had, the style, and like that music, I actually thought that they were going to blow up and be massive. And I thought that music may blow up, that style of music may blow up again because they made it cool and popular. Didn't happen like the way I thought it did. I wasn't crazy about their last album for some reason. When the Curtain Falls, I think. But a band I really like, what I would just call a modern day rock band, is Mammoth, which is
I like them. Okay,
the son of Van Halen,
Eddie Van Halen.
I think it's Wolfgang. His name's Wolfgang.
Yeah.
But he's got a band called Mammoth, and for like just straight rock, I love it. And he plays all the instruments on the album. He does everything: vocals, drums.
You know, they have a new album out.
Is it Celebration for the End of the World, or is it another name?
I'm not. They have two out. You know,
Okay, I've listened to both of them, and I think, as far as just straight, like, a rock album that's not pop or whatever, to me, that's my favorite currently that I can think of. But if you're just looking for a good rock album, that guy, he puts out some good stuff.
Sorry, I thought you were going to say something.
No,
there.
he just passed it over to me.
Okay. I think the bottom line, I mean, I thought this would be good because we get to talk kind of like how we did, like how we have been doing about rock music and its pinnacle popularity, yada, yada. But right now, going back to how this originally started, I just don't think there's a big rock band right now. And I'm looking forward to the time when it all comes back around and that new rock band comes out and drops a song, kind of like Nirvana dropped Smells Like Teen Spirit, and it just totally takes over the world, and we can all relish and just having some great rock music again, hitting the radio, kind of just being everywhere, and just kind of soaking it in, and like our favorite style of music being popular again. That was kind of that's what I'm looking forward to. I don't know what the next big rock band's going to be. Honestly, they probably have not even put out a song on the radio yet. But I'm ready for even though I'm already in my 40s, I might be in my 50s before it hits. I'm ready for it.
Sounds good.
Justin's doing a great job of being a statue. Anyway,
I kissed Justin's hand during this.
I know. I saw it. I chose to let it go. I feel like since we're being filmed, I've got to be animated with this free hand.
But like my little pencil.
You guys ready to move on to the next
We
topic?
should have gave Ryan this pencil so he could have used it for his stick and been going like this the whole time.
It's like the mic is like cutting through the air.
Top.
You guys ready to move on to the next topic?
Okay.
It's another question I'm throwing at you guys. Or I guess y'all are also throwing it at me. Favorite summertime meals?
Oh, I love summertime meals.
There's nothing about being in the hot, nut-sack-induced, sweating weather to say, I'm hungry.
I'll tell you, I'm going to tell you something right now. I'm going to throw something
You look
out.
so uncomfortable.
Well, every time I got to talk, I mean, if I'm just standing here, I can't.
So you can also take this one from me.
I got both of them now.
My arm can be the stand.
Or I can just hold it for you.
I pose the question to you guys. You know, we've in the past on the podcast, we've talked about like our favorite summer movies, summer vacations, summer memories. You know, mowing the yard in the summer, getting crack rash. We've talked about everything, but I don't think we've covered a great meal that we eat normally in the summertime. Like, you know, in the wintertime, we're a lot more opposed to eating like chili, you know, stuff like that. There's certain things that you kind of favor depending on the time of the year. That's what I'm trying to say.
I'm gonna give you. I'm gonna give you two right now. Right off the freaking bat. I'm gonna tell you. I told you once. I told you twice. Told you 1,000 times. Know what I tell you? I tell you this. Meatloaf.
I just want to say one more thing before you go on. So I said to y'all, I want you to come up with one entree, 3 sides, 1 dessert, and 1 drink.
You said that?
Yes, did I not, Jason? Jason Justy Bug.
You just call me J Stick?
That's what I was saying. Did I not just say that, J Stick?
Yeah. Where did the J Stick come from?
And J Stick's response back to me was, "Isn't that a little excessive?" And I'm like, "Take a look at us. That's a normal meal. This is our fantasy summer meals."
Nothing says to me summer meal more than a hot meatloaf.
Yeah, covered in cream.
Y'all don't like covered in cream.
Yeah.
What kind of cream you putting over a meatloaf?
I don't know,
for
maybe
God's
some sort
sake?
of ketchup sauce.
Yeah, but it's not a cream. I know. Well, of course, when you say that, I'm picturing walking into your house and there's a meatloaf and there's this white sauce, cream sauce over my. Hey, what the hell is
Hey,
this?
I covered my meatloaf in clam chowder.
Oh, that's a total. Anything with white. I mean, especially if a meatloaf with some white juice all over it, you count me out. All right.
And Chris, you'd eat the whole dang thing before you even knew what it was.
I just imagine Ryan going, "Here, eat this, Chris." You're like, "Why is that white cream on top?" And he's like, "Just eat it." He's got that big smile, red face, one eye closed.
One eye closed, shoving it in your face.
What recipe is this, Ryan's like, this is my love glaze.
So meatloaf, you say?
Dude, I like a good meatloaf. I'm a meatloaf boy, a meatloaf kid.
But what? Okay, so but like no sides? Like what about mashed potatoes?
Well, I mean, yeah, if you're feeling a little slutty about it and you want to throw some garlic mashed potatoes or something in there, then yeah, I'll support you.
What do you think, Jay
I'll
Stick?
eat.
About the meatloaf and I just meatloaf doesn't seem summertime to me.
Okay, then. Well, I knew y'all were gonna.
Me neither.
I knew y'all were gonna complain and moan about it, so I had another one. But now you're gonna like this one a little better. Okay, get ready because here it comes. Okay, in the,
Here it comes. Now let me give you a backstory.
okay, you think about the summertime. You're out, you're in the pool, in the water somewhere, the river. You're out there having a hell of a time, dicking around, whatever. You get out of there, what do you want to eat? A sandwich. I mean, really, it's any particular sandwich of your order. Bologna sandwich, ham sandwich, PB&J maybe. Now, but what you do with this sandwich is you add chips. Typically,
Onto the sandwich?
onto the sandwich, and you smash it. That's the perfect after river sandwich. Bologna sandwich, mayo, lettuce, tomato, some nacho cheese Doritos,
Ain't nothing like a smashed sandwich.
and then you're gonna get even a PB&J with nacho cheese Doritos on there.
Is it
Chef's kiss.
one of those hot lake day sandwiches where your bread's all moist and steamed up?
I told you that wet bread. I tell people about wet moist
A
bread.
wet crushed bread sandwich.
Exactly.
Chip sandwich, I'm sorry.
Wet bread. That's the way to go.
That does make me think of summertime. One of those, to me, nasty, wet, moist sandwiches.
I like
but it is a summertime meal.
This is supposed to be favorite summertime meals.
No, that's
I don't
the
know
best
if I'm
summertime
like,
meal.
Oh man,
You boys have lost.
I can't. I'm just fantasizing about a wet, soaking, wet, doughy chip sandwich that Chris has smashed together under his armpit.
Anything moist is good.
Chris calls that
Food.
the moist maker.
Exactly. I think you boys have lost your edge.
Wait a second. Anything moist is good, like a moist chip.
Y'all never had any wet chips? Y'all never had a wet chip and got a little wet and then just went to town?
No, I can't say. It's just not my thing.
This made me think of something that I used to see Ryan do.
Okay.
I remember back in the rock house where we would have Oreos, and you would run Oreo underneath tap water and make it moist.
Oh, I'll do that now.
I remember him seeing them do that with Oreos and with those vanilla wafer things.
I do love vanilla wafers now. Oreos, yeah, I'll do that now with Oreos.
One time, Ryan was using the bathroom and he walked out. He was eating a Pop-Tart.
Is that for real?
And then I was like, "Why was you eating a Pop-Tart in the bathroom?" I was like, "Why?" He never gave me a right answer.
I tell you right, that story, if any story is symbolic of my life, it's that story. Me walking out of the bathroom, probably sweating, being a fat sack of crap, eating a Pop-Tart.
I had a buddy of mine. This is off subject, but it's kind of with that. That he's like, when we worked at the store, he's like, "I gotta go take a dump. I need a snack." And he got a little pack of those little Debbie donuts.
Yeah.
He took it back to the bathroom with him. So he ate his powdered donuts while he took a dump.
Oh, I tell you, the most nauseating part of that is the fact that they were powdered. I don't know why.
Yeah, that's the nauseating part.
Well, I'm just saying. You just imagine him getting that everywhere, wiping his tuchus and all that. And
got
just
powdered
white
sugar
powder
on his
everywhere. Yeah. Just rough.
Because you got to lick those fingers too.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, if eating powdered donuts, I'm not walking around with some unlicked fingers after I'm eating powdered donuts.
I hope he washed his hands when he was done.
he did. Nom, 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 nom.
Y'all ever wash y'all's hands?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wait till we get to the main topic. That's one of the ones I'm talking about. You, Chris.
So I listed a couple of my favorite summertime things. So what's y'all's?
Thank you for moving it along.
To me, summertime, I'm thinking grilled burgers, charcoal grilled burgers,
Yep. Has to be charcoal grill.
and fried yellow squash,
Oh,
which I've been eating a lot of. I've got a squash source now, so I've been getting some fresh yellow squash. I've been frying it up. Oh my gosh, it's good.
dude, you got a squash guy?
I got a squash guy.
You're in good shape.
He's got a peaches guy too. I went to mom and dad's house and then had some peaches that were you the one who brought the peaches over? Oh my gosh, those peaches where the juice was running down my chin. It's almost like I had out of
The
body.
summer of Chris. I want to eat a peach and let the juices fall where they lay.
I had like an out of body experience when I was eating that.
I've got a peach guy. I've got a squash guy. I've got a cucumber guy. I've got a tomato guy.
You got a tomato guy?
I've got a
Is your
tomato
peach guy from work?
No, he's not from work.
Oh, God, I was about to say, I want some peaches.
Not that I should need to ask this, but how did you come in contact with the cucumber guy? What was that like?
Same guy as the squash guy.
That's funny because I know who your cucumber guy is.
You want some cucumbers?
I'm not a cucumber person. We went over this.
What do I gotta do to find me guys like this in my life?
I tell you what you gotta do. You gotta leave the house and interact with people.
Dude, I'm on the go 24/7.
You gotta hang out in a lot of farmers markets.
You gotta. I'm telling you. No offense to these guys. You need yourself an older guy that likes to garden. Because my tomato guy, he also makes homemade salsa, and it is the best salsa you've ever had.
Well, here's the thing: it's like, yes, do I want to befriend a bunch of these old gardening guys so I can?
Yeah.
Preferably, I'd love to find me a good an older lady an older woman who loves to garden. That would be like my sweet spot. But the realities of that probably ain't gonna happen. But now
I don't know. You kind of act like an old man. You might settle into that life.
could be. But then I feel a little odd if I try to make relationships with these older dudes who garden. Like all this friendship is gonna be based off of me using them for their garden goodies.
Spin it to him like this. Be like, hey, I'm a big guy. I've got this Heavyset Podcast. I need your vegetables to help me out.
I want to review your peaches.
Instead of using the podcast to try to pick up women, I'm trying to use it to let old men let me eat out of their garden.
Listen, buddy, I want to make your cucumbers famous.
I want to review your cucumber salad.
Yeah.
He makes his own dressing for it.
So Justin, well, you told me fried squash, charcoal cooked burgers.
Yeah. Well, I also like fresh hand cut fries too.
Yeah. I mean, that's good.
I'd like to have that for a dessert. Summertime, I'm thinking snow cone.
Oh, that's a good one too. Like the shaved. You're saying snow cone, like the shaved ice.
Shaved shaved Hawaiian ice.
Yeah, not or it's the little granules. It's like the shaved ice.
I actually like it when they put the cream in it. Whenever you have like the
Oh, that's okay. I'm talking about cream earlier, and it's like a 20-minute knock me down.
Well, yeah, you're putting your love cream all over a meatloaf. We're talking in a Hawaiian ice. Completely different things.
Completely different.
yeah, that sweet cream,
I do know what you're talking about, and they are good.
like the homemade ice cream.
It kicks it up.
Yeah. Drink. Tell you what, something new that I really like is they have a peach Mountain Dew.
I haven't tried it.
And it's really good. To me, that's summery. But my summer drink, I always think of Livewire Mountain Dew, that orange Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
Because I think that used to be just a summer drink for a long time.
Yeah, I think that came out like 1 or 2 summers, and then I guess it was popular enough, it just stayed out. Anyway.
I also.
Ugh.
Ugh.
Now Chris has adjustments to put that back up to his mouth.
Yeah, go ahead and talk into it.
Well, I can talk to it. I'm just not going to shove it up in my mouth.
Okay. All right. I'm about to break down my summer meal. And I'm going to be honest, it's better than Chris's. Justin, it might not be better than yours, but it'll come close. But when I'm thinking, this is like the meal I'm thinking of at summertime. Okay.
Making me uncomfortable.
That's the point.
Smoked on the smoker baby back ribs.
Oh, yeah.
You know, your choice of barbecue sauce, if you even need sauce. Homemade potato salad. Homemade macaroni salad. I'll be honest, I can't remember my other side. Give me a second.
Baked beans?
Baked beans. That's what it was. Now, for dessert, it's watermelon or a tangy sherbet. Like, not like, like sherbet, like sometimes you got like the milk-based creamy ones that are like ice cream. Then you have like the ones that are just like kind of tangy and refreshing. Like, that's just depending on the mood. Either a nice cold piece of watermelon or a cup of some tangy sherbet. And then wash the whole meal down with Justy Bug Aid. Justin's take on classic Kool-Aid.
Oh, I haven't had any Justy Bug Aid in a while either.
I haven't had any this summer so far.
I also like sweet tea during the summertime.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Are
like
you a
tea,
half
but-
and half guy?
With what? Half tea, half lemonade?
Yeah. No, half tea, half vodka. No, I'm kidding.
You a screwdriver guy?
You screwdriver, man? No, half tea, half lemonade. Good night. I love that. I got to pee. Can I go pee?
Welcome back to the Heavyset Podcast, Chris.
I love squash. I mean, saute it, fry it, oil it, broil it, put some foil around it, smoke it.
Take it on a date.
Smoke it in a smoker.
Smoke it.
Rolling squash up into a doobie and smoking
I
it.
love the doobie squash. Might be the name of the next big American rock band.
Just imagine you just like, hey, you got the squash over there? What you going to do with that?
I want to smoke it.
Oh, so what else we got?
Well, who do y'all think had the best meal?
I would probably say Justin's. I don't know. I do love ribs. Here's the thing about ribs. Here's the thing about burgers. I'll tell you this. A burger is probably like my favorite food of all time.
Yeah.
I mean, even more so than pizza. I'm a burger kid. BK is what they call me, Justy Bug. But
Who's calling you a kid?
nobody is.
Any more like I'm a burger middle-aged old man.
Don't call me middle aged.
You're not technically middle-aged.
But burger, and you can make it. And you can make a burger. There's a lot of ways to skin a cat with a burger. You can make it any way. Put all these toppings, just like a pizza. You can make it yours, and there's nothing that's just so classic about it, especially in the summertime, about a charcoal burger or a smoked burger. A smoked burger, boys. Have you ever had a smoked burger?
Well, I mean, I would say that technically, if you're using charcoal, I mean, the grill, it's getting a good dose of smoke.
You get a good dose of smoke, but if you ever do it, smoke 'em, boys.
Or is it smoking squash and smoking burgers?
Yeah, it's all it comes down to how it's smoked. Y'all ever had smoked Mountain Dew? Man, it's delicious.
Y'all ever smoke any hashish? Well, I tell you what.
It's the spot. I would probably concur with Chris. after hearing your summer meal, it does feel maybe the most summery of everything that was thrown out.
Don't worry, I'll wash my hands. But doesn't mine is a classic nostalgia thing, though, like a wet summer sandwich or a meatloaf.
Here's the problem.
I
I don't necessarily like think of meatloaf when I think of summertime. That's almost more like a wintry kind of thing, or like a January, February meal, like just a heavy stick to your rib meal when it's cold.
I feel the same way, more of a winterish type meal. But meatloaf is your thing. I remember you said you cooked that one chick meatloaf if you could. Leah Thompson. Said you invite her over and cook her a meatloaf. Meatloaf is your go-to for any situation.
People love meatloaf.
Summertime meatloaf, celebrity meatloaf, funeral meatloaf.
Yeah, my funeral, I want y'all to eat a meatloaf over my dead zombie corpse.
We're going to be talking about, we're going to be like, hey, what's our favorite holiday meals? Because it's going to be like meatloaf.
I mean, God, because the thing is, everybody, I've said it before, I'll tell you again. Nobody gives it the respect it deserves. And you can make a meatloaf your own way. And I judge somebody on like how good their loaf is.
Dude, you judge somebody on every move they make.
No, I
You're
don't.
You're a judgmental bastard.
No, I'm not. I'm a loving, caring person.
I'm not saying you're not loving or caring. Just saying, you're one cold-hearted SOB.
That is totally not true.
Moving on.
So
What happened?
What's the next thing on the docket?
I was waiting. I thought Chris was going to say something. Then
No, I lost my
broke.
train of thought. I was looking at that sign over there.
Okay, guys. The main topic. My stomach's growling. I don't know if you heard that or not.
I heard it.
Wong. Pet peeves. I thought a great main topic for this episode would be talking about some of our biggest pet peeves. I ain't going to say favorite because who likes a pet peeve? But, basically a peeve is just something that really annoys you. A pet peeve is just basically super annoying. What are you guys thinking?
Two of mine are in this room right now.
Don't talk about little Nate Puh like that.
I ain't talking about Nate Puh.
Chris has got the thick skin to take it, but not Nate Puh.
I hate you bastards. No, I'm just kidding. I'm joking.
I thought we could go around, kind of take turns, kind of run through pet peeves. I think that's something that everybody can relate to. I don't care who you are. You got a pet peeve. You got at least one. Something that just super annoys you, irritates you, pisses you off. And I know that we also have a few of those things. So I thought we could talk about them.
Take it away, Ryan.
I keep looking at Chris, waiting, as I feel like I talk so long. I'm like waiting for him to kind of fill that void. So that's just my horrible voice, and he's just twirling that mic around on that pencil.
I'm just
like,
enjoying
heck yeah.
myself. I mean,
Okay, my first pet peeve I want to throw out: when you're watching a movie and the dog dies, has an animal. Whenever there's a movie that has an animal in it, I almost won't watch it because I don't know how it's going to go for the dog or whatever the animal in it. And I hate when I watch a movie and the dog dies, or a show. I'll almost stop watching it, or if I do finish the movie or show, I will never watch it again.
At first, when you were saying that, like you were talking about Nate Puh dying. I was like, yeah, that would be pretty horrible.
No.
I hate it when my dog dies.
No, I'm talking about the world. I'm talking about the world of fantasy. Like, this ain't even really happening. It's just a movie or TV show, but it still bugs me when like animals die in it. And what's weird is I could have watched it when I was a kid and not really been bothered by it. But as I get older and live more life, it bothers me a lot more.
I think it's weird that bothers you, but if a person dies, it doesn't really affect you.
I have empathy issues.
Yeah, I think that's a common thing with a lot of people. If there's an animal that gets hurt, people can't stand it. Like I know it bothers Chris too. Was that episode of Futurama?
Jurassic Bark.
Yeah, where the dog just sits there on the sidewalk waiting for Fry to come back.
Yeah.
That's like super sad because generally most people have dogs or have had a dog or dogs that they were close to, and you know how loyal they are to you,
Yeah.
how much they love you. Like I've got Ollie pup. It would kill me to think of him just waiting for me.
Yeah.
I was never coming back.
Yeah, because I know when I leave or when me and Caitlin leave and there's no one here at the house, like Nate will just sit in that bed like he is now, well, passed out, but just, or by the door, because, basically when you leave them alone, they're just waiting for you to come back, basically.
Here's explain it for people, because I think the majority of people that I'm friends with are like not pet people.
Yeah.
So they're not growing up or nothing, like they never understood the attachment. Here's what I tell people. So few things everybody wants to experience in life. One of those things is unconditional love. A dog, or any animal really, but we had dogs growing up. A dog will provide you with unconditional love. You get this thing as a baby, you train it, you raise it, it becomes a part of your everyday routine. That is one hell of a attachment.
Yeah.
So when you lose something like that, the toll it takes on you is a heavy toll. And I can't handle it in movies either. It bothers me. Because, put it to you like this. People won't answer this honestly. Your dog is on a train track. There's another person you don't even know on that train track. Who are you going to save? You can only save one. Who are you really going to save?
I'm going to automatically go towards what I know anyway, whether it be a person or an animal. So I would automatically go towards my dog.
Most people would pick the other guy, and that's the more human thing to do, is to save a human life. But I don't know. That guy might be a crook for all I know.
I disagree. I don't think that's the more human thing to do. I think that's what we should automatically do. I think the more human thing is to have a more selfish nature and try to save the human or animal that we love.
That's true. We are all very selfish.
Yeah.
Especially
I know
J-Stick.
Chris is.
J-Stick. Golly.
J-Stick.
That's where people started coming up to me and calling me J-Stick after this.
They let us call you Stick.
Oh, they're so stick.
We're showing them we're too lazy to say J. Either one of y'all got a pet peeve you want to talk about?
When people call me Stick.
Hey, it's old J-Stick.
I tell you something that bugs me is when people post stuff on social media just to garner attention.
Oh, yes.
Like we do with the podcast.
Yeah. I hate us.
To me, it's more like stuff that should be really private.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That they post just to garner attention. Like, I get a deal of asking for help or this, that, whatever, prayers. But when it's something that they're doing, the only time they post something is something that they want attention for.
Yeah. Like a woe is me, or they might just post a pic of themselves in a swim trunks, or if it's a woman in a bikini, and just be like, man, I've really let myself go. And they're 120 pounds.
Yeah,
and
she's I really let myself go. She's got her boobs all pushed out, a really tight bottom on. Hey.
Yeah, I've gained a pound over the last 3 years.
Or those people that are like, hey, I got a bad head. I'll tell you what bothers me really about that stuff is you see people on there who air out their own dirty laundry or something, or air out someone else's. I'm like, there is no way that I would take my real personal issues and the demons I battle to Facebook or social media.
Yeah, it's an insane part of our culture. It is.
I like talking about mental health and things of that nature, not in a woe is me kind of way, but in a way of
beneficial.
Not getting out my own personal problems like this is what it is, but yeah, in a way of benefiting somebody, to be open, because everybody goes through that. But to be on there and well, I don't know what an example would be. I'm afraid to say anything as I don't want to accidentally call something out.
Well, that is it. To me, you're afraid to say something. That's kind of part of the problem, because someone will watch this episode of the podcast, hear you give an example that's not related to anyone in particular. They'll think you're talking about them, and then go on Facebook and call you out, or not call you out, but talk all about it and just not mention your name.
Yeah, they'll be like, look at this fat Baptist. Call me out because I did whatever.
And the thing is too, and I would be, it's like when and people, then you go back, what do you use social media for? And the thing is, like with me, like I have nothing to say of any substance. So like, what do? I'm a music head. I post nothing but music and memes, and then I share the podcast stuff. Now, what I more so do on there is just message people individually that I don't ever see, and we keep in touch that way. And I see pictures of their kids and whatever. So it's good to keep up in that sense. But like, I don't even really use social media. I mean, I'm not for the way it's intended, I guess.
I mean, there's some good things about it. I honestly, as time goes on, I'm beginning to feel like the bad outweighs the good of social media. I love that you can connect with somebody fast, immediate, check on someone, see how they're doing, their families, all this and that. But man, it just feels like there's a lot of baggage kind of going along with social media nowadays.
There's a lot of bad in social media for the aspect of everybody, even though they say they don't, they compare themselves to everybody else. Yeah. And so when people are on social media, you're seeing the highlights of their day. So it's people like people you see on there be posting pictures of like, hey, we're at the some fancy vacation, so and so, like everything's hunky dory, and like it ain't all hunky dory. You're like, these people's lives is in complete turmoil right now. They're out here posting like they're fancy schmancy.
And just like we did earlier this year.
Yeah, man. And the thing is too, and that's the way it is. I'm not bashing somebody. I'm guilty of the same thing everybody is. That's not what I'm saying.
I think once again it's kind of a human nature thing again.
Because you want to, I don't know if brag's the right word. Maybe it is brag.
We don't like to show weakness. As a culture, as people, we want to show ourselves, portray ourselves as if everything is fine with no flaws, no weaknesses, and have that united kind of,
that
cover.
Uniform.
Yeah, that uniform look, just kind of covering up any flaws.
Like everything is all together. And of course, in anybody, once you get older, you realize nobody has it together. We're all the freaking walking mixed bag of worms here.
Nobody knows what they're doing in life. We're all just trying to figure it out. And we all think, like, J-Stick has it together, but we find out Stick is really just like the rest of us. And he's just out there going through the motions, trying to do the best he can and figure it out as he goes.
Yeah, I mean, because I'll look at some of Stick's pictures on social media from time to time.
Who? Are you talking about J-Stick?
Oh, well, we
hey, everybody.
Just call him Stick.
J-Stick. Or Stick for short. If you're too lazy to say J.
There's a guy I used to work with. His nickname was Sticks.
Did you like him?
He was all right.
Well,
he was real. He looked like a scarecrow.
Oh, I'm sure he'll appreciate that.
Yeah.
At least his nickname wasn't Scarecrow.
He doesn't watch, I'm sure.
Yeah. I don't know. You'd be surprised.
Yeah, I would be surprised. Well, Chris,
yeah.
What's your pet peeve?
I don't like it when people call me Bud.
What about Bub?
I wouldn't like that either.
Yeah, I have a bigger problem with Bub.
I don't like Bub or Bud.
What about Buddy?
I'm not a big fan of Buddy. It's probably I don't like it as much, but it kind of depends on the tone of that.
What about Chief?
Chief has never bothered me too bad.
Really?
But I haven't had a lot of douchebag people just call me Chief. I've had some douchebags call me Bud.
What about Cowboy?
I would probably just crack up. Why you call me? Slim would probably piss me off. I'm going to tell you what, if anybody calls me, hey, Slim, they're on the right track for a knuckle sandwich. That's all I got to say. I'm a nice guy, but I don't take crap these days. I will give someone a knuckle sandwich.
Slim. Hey, what's up, Virginia Slim?
Yeah, I wouldn't be like, hey, oh, Bud, I just don't
what about Chubbs? Hey, Chubbs.
Well, I imagine Chubbs would piss me off too pretty bad, Ryan. What do you expect? What if someone called you an a-hole? How would that make you feel?
I don't know. At this point in my life, I feel normal. So many people walking around saying that. People, I love Chris's moment.
I mean, I don't know what you want me to say.
Chris just starts stroking out every little comment. Okay, back to me. People who don't wash their hands when they get done going to public restrooms. This is a big one on me. You actually touched on it earlier. What are you doing?
What are you?
Oh, well, Justin, you're
Yeah,
probably
wash my hands. You're the one that don't wash your hands.
Dude,
You had to make the comment. Don't worry, I wash my hands. That says to me that I suspect and know that sometimes you do not wash your hands. And we're sharing this little stick.
Yeah, I'm just saying, it astounds me the amount of people. I'm talking about men because, of course, I'm not going to women's bathrooms, but it astounds me how many people will go to the bathroom. It could be the urinal, they could be going to number 2, whatever. Come out, situate themselves in the mirror, make sure their shirt's tucked down, or whatever. Then walk out of out of the bathroom back into the gas station, restaurant, whatever, and don't wash their hands. It astounds me. And then these people are touching everything. They're touching you. They're touching the door, the chips, the drinks. I mean, it's like, I'm just like, oh my goodness. And it bothers me. I do not like it.
That's what I like to call walking around with dong hands.
Yes. I mean,
I think about that too, because here's the thing I think about, like at work. Because I'll be at work using the bathroom or whatever. But then sometimes when you're in there, you notice some of these dudes maybe I shouldn't say that word. There's probably not a whole lot of guys I up there at work with. Some are just.
I got a problem with you people.
But you notice some people up there don't wash their hands. But to me, I'm like, I can't be walking around this place with dong hands. Like this ain't about me. It's about other people. So
Yes.
I make sure because you touching doorknobs, all this stuff. So I'm not a germaphobe really. But and then dong hands are its own thing. When you're touching your dong, and then you're not, I don't know.
What about like crack hands? Like people that have gone number 2 and they still won't wash their hands and they leave.
There was a guy that I worked with back, I was like 19, 20, and he was known to not wash his hands. And they would feed us at work regularly.
Oh, my gosh.
And people would be like, don't eat that pizza because such and such was getting pizza out of that box. So you're getting pizza, you're reaching your hands in there. There ain't no telling what he touched.
Oh, yeah.
So they're like, avoid that, eat this. But he would go take a nasty dump and just walk on out.
That is a big pet peeve of mine. That is unreal to me. And I'll tell you what, taking it one step further, and this is a story, this is from a couple years ago. When I came up with this topic to talk about, it was actually like 3-4 years ago, and I just had it on the back burner, but it was inspired by this little story I'm getting ready to tell. I stopped at a gas station, and it was a one that had the bathrooms that were just like a one-holer, so that you would go in, lock the door, and use the bathroom, and people had to wait for you to get done. Yeah. I'm just breaking down the whole bathroom system for you.
Yeah.
Okay, a guy come walk out, middle-aged, normal-looking guy, dressed in slacks, shirt's tucked in, very clean-looking, normal-looking individual. He walks out of the bathroom. I walk into the bathroom right behind him. I lock the door first, of course, go to use the bathroom, and this guy had took a dump in the toilet with toilet paper all in there and left it like that.
Did not flush.
Did not flush.
Ugh.
That's what I'm saying, taking it one step forward, or one step, forward. Is like, they're doing this, it's already a nasty situation, and then they're leaving it for the next stranger to deal with? This was not a 10-year-old kid. This was a well-dressed, Middle-aged man, looked like he had his life together, and he's leaving the Duke for me to deal with. I'm dealing with the Duke.
So he was a middle-aged man or an old man?
Middle-aged, like my age. He was, I mean, I don't know what his age was
He's out
per
of touch
se.
with reality. If you feel like he doesn't, I guarantee you that guy probably doesn't know what the price of milk is right now.
What is the price of milk right now?
It's like $4.58 a gallon.
I'd honestly expect it to be around $6.
It actually be maybe I don't know what the price of milk is right now.
Chris is part of the problem too.
You're the one out of touch, Chris.
Depends what brand you buy, I suppose.
Chris is out of touch with the common man.
But yeah, I'm sure he's guy's probably out of touch with reality. Reality doesn't care about the common folk out here. He's been living in his own little fancy schmancy world, leaving dumps, leaving dumps
for me to deal with.
But I had a point I was going to make.
The rage. Oh, and by the way, I unlocked the door and went back out to look for the guy. Not after I got done using the bathroom. I'm talking about immediately.
Did you find him?
No, he had came out and left the store. It was a gas station, so he came out and left and was gone. It was not a huge area to look for him.
I can just imagine us getting a phone call. But Ryan got arrested. Why? He beat up this guy for not flushing his crap. He went out there and beat him up.
Oh, dude, that put me into a rage because I'm just like, what is wrong with this person? You know, if it would have been like I said, a young kid come out, I'd be like, okay, yeah, this kid thought this would be funny, or what, or maybe he just forgot because he's a kid, but not an adult. Gross.
Yeah, that made me think of a story when Lambert's at Gulf Shores.
Yeah.
I went there years and years ago.
We need to discuss all that someday on the podcast. We went on the beach vacation together. Anyway.
We went there a few years ago, and I went into the restroom there, and there was like one toilet was out of order, and the other toilet was clogged, and there was a little kid there, and the water was that far away from the top, and this little boy like hits flush, and of course it overflows with crap water. And he goes, "Oh no!" It's like I looked. I was like, "Oh my, I can hold it." I went, told whoever was working at the front, like, "Hey, you guys got a huge mess in there."
They probably thought you did it.
Probably.
I bet they're like FML.
I was like, "Oh my gosh, that was so disgusting."
I bet. Then you went back and finished your delicious meal.
Yeah.
Delicious summertime meal.
Yeah.
I'm holding it, but I'm getting back to these lamb chops.
Went and had some fried catfish.
There you go. Nothing says overflow toilet like fried catfish. Perfect Thanksgiving food for Chris.
I don't know why it reminds me of this story. I don't know what made me think of this. Maybe I shouldn't even tell this on here. But well, never mind. Go ahead.
Yeah. You have any more pet peeves over there?
I'm sure I've got a lot more pet peeves, but none that's probably going to be I could get any comedy off of.
Well, I got another one I'll throw out, but you can't get any comedy off of it, maybe. But I'll tell you what really irks me. I mean, and I'm known for having some road rage. I get angry sometimes when I drive.
Known for having road rage. Ryan cusses like a sailor every time we go somewhere together.
Because people upset me. No, it's probably still the same. But the number one thing, I mean, besides someone just not paying attention and almost hitting you, which happened to me the other day, while I laid on my horn and flipped my wig. And it was an 18-wheeler. Anyway, that's not even what I was going to bring up. What bugs me is when you're going down a 2-lane road and the dude in front of you is going slow. I'm talking like maybe 45 miles an hour in a 55 zone, under the speed limit. And then we hit a straight stretch of road where I can pass him.
Straight stitch.
Yeah, where I can pass him. And all of a sudden, this dude's going 78 miles an hour. And I'm having to freaking floor it to get around this guy. But then if I don't go around him, when we get out of that straight stretch, he slows back down to 45 miles an hour. That happens all the time, it feels like, and it drives me insane.
I also hate when somebody's going slow and then you pass them, and then they get right up on your tail and follow behind you.
It's like, what is going on with these people?
Yeah, I think they're doing that just to screw with you.
Yeah, I think so too, and it drives me nuts. It makes me want to slam on the brake and screw with them by letting them slam into my back.
That was going to be my question was, do you feel like it's on purpose? A lot of times I do feel like it's on purpose, and it might not be.
I think a lot of times it is on purpose. I think a lot of times people are on their phone or jig-jacking around and just ain't paying attention to how fast they're going, and they're naturally just speed up in a straight stretch where there's no curves, and they're just off in their own little fantasy world out on a Sunday drive and no rush to get nowhere. In the meantime, I'm trying to get somewhere as fast as I can, and I can't because this D-bag is on his phone out on a Sunday drive.
So
Do you guys have any more pet peeves?
I can't think of any more right now. Not any that I haven't already talked about before.
All right. Man, I could go on forever, too. A lot of things upset me.
You're just an unhappy person, right?
You know,
I won't tell you. I can analyze people pretty good. If anybody that I know in life, Ryan's got a lot of pent up anger. And I don't know if he's found a way to release that yet. But it comes out. It comes out in forms if I'm driving and yelling a lot.
I do. And I will admit it. Road rage is an issue for me. I don't know what it is when I get in that situation, but I just start getting hostile before I even leave the garage.
Sometimes I have to walk on eggshells around them.
Oh, whatever.
Like,
Chris has
no,
never walked on eggshells around me in his life. Somebody ever's throwing eggs at the ground. Koosh.
That is true. There's one day I went off on Ryan for really no reason. Nothing. It wasn't his fault at all.
Yeah, it's the other way around, if anything.
I was in a really bad place, and I can't remember what day that was. We were thinking about when we were riding with Dad somewhere, and I was like, Ryan, will you please shut the F up?
So, yeah, Chris will get upset about other people and not take it out on them because he don't want to cause a big stir. And he'll save it all up and wait till he's around me and then unleash it on me.
You've done the same thing to me. You've done the same thing to me.
I've never done that in my life.
Yes, you have. We won't. We're not going to open up any old wounds here for no effing reason. But you take it out on the ones you love the most.
Yeah, you do. I mean, that's kind of how it goes.
I mean,
kind of society judges you harshly if you start flipping out on strangers on the street. So you get pent up and you bring it home with you and you don't even realize it.
You also got to think too. Back in these days, we were around each other almost every day, talking to each other almost every single day. So really, we have like an old married couple's relationship.
Yeah. Well, in a way, yes.
But you know what I mean? Like, I mean, when you're that close to people, and brothers know this, any siblings or anybody married knows this, you're going to have those bad moments. You're just going to have those days where you just go off on somebody, but you got to have conversation to get past it.
Yeah, I always can move past it, but I've never been in a situation where I've been the problem.
Moving on. What's our next topic?
How about we do some reviews? How's that sound?
Oh, awesome.
Is that all you got, Chris? Oh, awesome. Blank stare.
We got two things. They're both summary. Good for this time of year. We got two things we want to review on this episode. And Justin, I was going to let you introduce the first one because you brought it.
Well, we got to hold up for a minute. Chris got to check his messages on his phone.
He's a very important man.
Hey, I got you know me. I've always got my shenanigans going on.
Because nobody cares where you're at. No one is trying to get a hold of you.
Anyway, where's that? Back here.
Yeah.
This is what I brought. It's a cup of noodles, Campfire S'mores flavor.
S'mores flavored ramen. You show it up for everybody. Or we might could take a picture of it later.
I got this at Walmart. I saw Elijah eat one last night, and it had marshmallows in it and some sort of brown sauce.
Delicious.
And it smelled like s'mores. So, you gonna go cook this up for us?
I thought I probably should.
Yeah, go cook it for us. We'll just cut this out.
We are back with our first review. This is the brand. The brand is Cup Noodles. I think that's the brand. And even though no one can tell, I'm gonna turn the label towards everybody. It's Cup Noodles. It's Campfire S'mores Ramen Noodles, and it definitely has a little bit of like a chocolatey taste. And I can tell you guys, whenever I cooked this in the microwave, it had little marshmallows on top of it. Do you guys want to smell it first, or want me to go ahead and try it and pass it down, or what? What?
Are we all sharing the spoon?
I just brought one because I thought that would actually be easier, but I can't go get everybody their own different fork that y'all want.
We'll just go for it.
I kind of just thought it would just be easier that way. It ain't like we all haven't eaten after each other before.
That is true. The only downside of this is that I know that I'll be the last one. So
That was also
in the back of my mind.
We can start with you.
Let's just go. Let's go for
Okay.
it.
You just wanted to complain? Okay.
Nate wants to bite first.
Nate Puff's a stay pup.
Sweet little pup.
Come here, bud.
You call him, he goes to run.
He doesn't want. I'm trying to get
Well, Ryan is holding the cup of noodles. Ugh.
It's gonna be hot.
I'll tell you so, Ryan. We should have got another fork. Ryan's spitting all over this
I'm
one.
not spitting on it.
I was about to go into his mouth. So what do you think? What's the difference? That's a heck of a bite, though.
A little warm.
Oh,
Let me see this.
Let me see it.
Yeah, I know you're gonna hold it for me, but I got this. This does not look appetizing at all. Look at this.
It's It's your normal looking ramen noodles, but it's in a darker. I guess we'll call it broth.
It smells like hot chocolate.
I had a chick one time puke on me. That's what it looked like.
Thanks for saying that right before I eat this.
It looked just like her puke.
Golly.
Now you know why I was struggling.
Oh my gosh, it just fell off my fork.
Story of your life. Cup of ramen. What do you think of the smell, Chris? Hold it to him.
I mean, it does smell like marshmallows.
Yeah, like
Kind
a
of.
little chocolatey broth.
Smells kind of like hot chocolate.
Yeah, it does smell like hot chocolate.
It's very strange because we're eating a food where you would refer to the juice or the water as broth, but when you're adding chocolate to the mix, it feels like you should be saying chocolate chocolate sauce. Golly!
Look at him.
And okay, look at him, everybody. This is why Chris was going to go last. This is why it's like that.
Golly.
Golly, he's right.
Gosh. You dropped like half the cup on you.
Dude, that was so hot.
Go ahead and get a bite, Chris.
That was really, dude. How did y'all eat that?
Only you.
Hey, don't smear it everywhere.
Dude, I ain't smearing it. It's already all over you.
We got to go out in public later like this.
Didn't you bring an extra shirt? Chris, you're supposed to always bring an extra shirt.
I like how he's talking to you like it's your mom.
I didn't mean to do this. I'm sorry.
I got something you can probably wear if you want that.
I I wear this dirty ass shirt.
Oh my gosh. Only you would have done that.
Man, did you not see how hot that was?
We all tried it.
We ate it.
I'm about to say, we all tried it before you. I said, what did I say after my bite? That's pretty hot.
Yeah, that's hot. Yeah.
Anybody want seconds?
You want to know?
That's
Not
what I'm
after
saying.
that.
After
Dude,
Chris-
this is no try it.
we did.
We did try it, Chris.
Okay, well, take the attention off me. What do you boys think about it?
Did you actually have a bite of it?
Yeah, well, I'm not going for another one just to.
You're going to drop that all over yourself again.
You know, this actually, which I praised J-Stick for bringing this just because it's so out of the ordinary. Like, I love it when we get to review novelties, and they don't get much more novel than Campfire S'mores Ramen.
I'm going to give this
Just
to me.
hand it to me. You know, I don't want to even touch the cup at this point.
Yeah.
Nate's not been in the shot the whole time until there's this food around. But I guess what I'm saying is I have to give a couple points to this, really, for just the fact that it exists, that it's
Yeah,
cool.
The novelty of it.
And you don't have as many summertime novelty foods and promotions and stuff. So that's already like, that's a point too. So I'm going to go ahead and just say, wait, are we still going by what review scale are we using?
The 5-point heavyset scale.
Okay, on the 5-point heavyset scale, I think I got to apply, kudos for the novelty, summertime novelty, ramen noodles. But I also, in all reality, have to take, just the taste and whether I would ever eat it again into consideration. But I will say this, I also really like the packaging, just the way the cup looks. What I'm saying is, I'm all in all, everything considered, I'm going to say a 2.5 out of 5 on the heavyset scale. Now, on the pop scale, I would say a 5 out of 10 on pop scale.
You got something you want to say?
No, go ahead.
Looked like you had something on your mind, Chris. I'll have to say, that's it. I was expecting it to be gross. It is.
Yeah.
It is edible. Now, having said that, I would never choose to eat this.
It's like the flaming hot Mountain Dew we reviewed like a year or two ago. Whenever,
Yeah.
I mean, kudos. I got to give a point or so just for the fact that it exists. You ain't get a purchase out of me just because it's out there. Will I
Yeah.
ever buy it again? Probably not.
Yeah, I wouldn't ever buy it again. It was kind of a cool thing to say, hey, I had Smores noodles.
Yeah.
But it tasted like noodles and hot chocolate.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that's what it tasted like. But I'm with you. Just the novelty of it will get a couple points. I'm going to say 2 out of 5.
I think that's pretty good.
I'm gonna give it a 1 out of 5.
Wait, what review does your shirt give it?
I loved it. I'm gonna eat this damn thing you've ever saw. No, my shirt loved it, but I did not. I just thought, it's hot as ball sack for one thing. It burnt that hell out of my tongue. Then burnt my damn shirt. Got my shirt dirty.
You're like the guy that got hot coffee from McDonald's and burned himself and then sued McDonald's for it.
No,
You're blaming the hot noodles for you getting
First
burned.
off, that was a woman. Can't remember what her name was. And
Those
second
bastards
off,
at Cup Noodles ain't gonna see me coming, trying to
Second
make
off-
me dirty my shirt.
I watched that documentary. Her burn was severe. Her legs were all. It was bad. Watch it.
I love how you jump to the aid of the McDonald's coffee person.
Show your burn.
It was right there. Anywho,
It's stain.
I mean, yeah, it's a novel. It does smell like a lot like s'mores. It does smell like hot chocolate. taste wise, it's not awful. It is edible, like you said. You could eat this, but I'm not a fan of it. I would never get it again. 1 out of 5 for me.
All right.
But it's a fun gag thing you can get somebody. Oh, you want some small couple noodles?
Campfire.
Yes, I'd also enjoy a small couple noodles.
Why don't we wash it down? We have one more thing to talk about. This is the pineapple Pepsi or Pepsi pineapple. This actually came out for a little bit in 2020, and it's back this summer in 24 as a Little Caesars pizza exclusive. Now, I did bring us all our own cups. Hey, Chris, you want to pour this?
I could pour it.
I'm gonna blame Pepsi because I poured this all over myself.
You need some help? Ooh, the flow. I bet that does sound refreshing.
Falls down in there.
That's the story of Chris's life.
That was just pissing money down the drain. Story of my life. This is an interesting nose profile on it, boys.
Oh, that is a lot.
Does it smell like pineapple?
Yes, it
smell like
does.
pineapple.
It's a lot fruitier than I expected it to be.
It does kind of smell like a pina colada.
Hold on, I think I need to just.
You already drank it?
Are we not supposed to?
It smells like pineapple juice, I think.
That ain't bad.
It does. I
Wow.
will say this. You're right on the nose. It actually tastes like there's pineapple juice in it and not just some BS.
It literally smells like if you just grab a cup of Pepsi and maybe went like 30%.
There's actual juice in it. You can taste it.
They went like 30% pineapple juice, 70% cola, mixed it. I think that'd be exactly what this tastes like.
Yeah, it contains pineapple juice. 1% juice, but juice nonetheless.
Well,
Got a ton of it. Makes up 1%.
It is interesting, though, because most companies wouldn't have done that. But you can taste the difference. I like it better that it's not artificial.
You can say, I don't know if it picked you up about the juice.
It contains 1% juice. It has pineapple juice concentrate in it. Yeah. To me, I don't know how you boys feel about this, but to me, like, I prefer Coke over Pepsi. But I prefer Pepsi mixed with other flavors more than Coke. Like a vanilla Pepsi or a cherry Pepsi, I like more than vanilla Coke or cherry Coke. So having said that, with this being a mixed flavor, like, I really like it.
Yeah, I've never really thought of that before, but when you say that, I think I agree with you. Pepsi does lend itself better to like the different flavor profiles, and this does too. This is actually a lot better than I thought it would be. Plus, kudos to Little Caesars for bringing it back, and I love the fact that since it is an exclusive, it's got the Little Caesars mascot on it, eating pizza, which is cool. Overall, I'm pretty pleased with it. I'm gonna probably say a 4 out of 5.
I'm right there with you, Ryan. I give this a 4 out of 5 also. Like, I would buy this. This isn't like a everyday drink that I would get, but if I, saw it, which I don't have Little Caesars real close to me, but I would get it. I really like it.
I'm giving this a 4.5 out of 5, boys. Almost
What?
perfect marks. We all know I'm a big pina colada fan. I love a good pineapple juice.
I just love the seriousness you're bringing to this. You reminded me of like a 1970s sports commentator with a little pencil mic.
But, I mean, you can taste it. You can taste the difference, boys. Quality ingredients. Quality ingredients is what matters, fellas. You can taste the difference. It tastes like juice. It is juice.
It's always nice. When we looking at the holidays, it's like the prime time for these novelty foods, novelty drinks, sodas, whatever. But it's nice to see a couple great novelty foods to review, stuff to try during the summertime. And that's usually a little thinner pickings but I think we tried two great ones today.
You said holidays, and it immediately made me think of Pepsi Holiday Spice.
Yeah.
Another mixed flavor Pepsi that I love.
I know I can't remember what the episode was or the show, but we covered soda at one point on the podcast. And one of my picks for that show was Pepsi Holiday Spice. Pepsi, bring it back out. That's what we need. That was like, and I've tried different spice sodas. I think Coke came out with one that was just like Coke spiced, but it did not hold a candle to Pepsi Holiday Spice. That was like the perfect holiday drink. Seems like every episode we're talking about Pepsi Holiday Spice.
I agree. Pepsi Holiday Spice was a good drink. Hey, I used to call Pepsi Company back in the day to bring back Pepsi Blue. They finally listened. Maybe I need to get on the horn again and make some connections.
It's changing lives. It may not be big on stopping poverty, but blue-colored soda in his wheelhouse.
So what we got next?
Yeah, why don't we wrap it up?
Is it all we got?
Hypotheticals. Hypothetical Hootenanny.
Yeah.
We ain't done that in a while.
It's been a minute since we've had a good old H&H.
Yeah, I gotta love throwing out some hypotheticals. The only rule is you have to answer honestly what you would really do in that situation. Everybody, longtime listeners, watchers, they know this. But who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Huh? I'll go second. Chris, you can anchor.
Ryan,
Yes.
we all get confused for one another from time to time.
Unfortunately, yes.
And Dad. I get confused for Dad sometimes. People ask me if I'm still playing in the band.
Sometimes people think I'm mom.
Chris has been going out, and people think that he's you, and he's doing some not so nice things.
Oh, no, this is marrying real life.
He's getting around with loose women.
Okay.
He's doing nefarious things, and he's all saying that he's you. How this gets back around to you could possibly ruin your message, could possibly destroy your life.
Yeah.
What would you do?
Well, my life stays kind of in shambles anyway. So, that. But this is very close to a situation that has actually existed where Chris, he knows that they think he's me, and they're talking to him, and he won't correct them.
So this happened to you too, because this happened to me where they thought he was me.
He won't.
I about got Justy Bug in some hot water.
They'll be talking to him, having long conversations. Chris won't correct them. All he has to do is say, "That's my brother." He won't do it.
Yeah.
He'll live the life.
I don't have. If these people don't know, I'm not going to see these people ever again. It don't matter. I don't have time for this.
We're still taking the rap for the
But
conversation.
I will say, in certain instances, in certain situations, it's probably good if I clarify. But I'm like, well, they don't know. They don't even know I exist. So this is my brother's problem now.
Exactly. And that's the part that bothers us. So I was guess. Well, I mean, in all reality, my hands would be kind of tied. I'd be like, you're dragging the good Ryan name through the mud. I would probably just go to Chris and be like, hey, could you please stop using my name whenever you're going on your killing sprees or your loose women sprees or whatever you're doing at night? Kind of, rein it in, or I'm going to have to step in and be like, hey, listen, he's a phony.
What if Chris says he can't do that? He's getting more tail using your name than his own.
Because he's already crushed his own name.
Okay, you guys are making me sound like I don't go out and do this. You guys making me sound like a horrible person.
Yeah, Chris is ordering like 6 pizzas for himself.
And
he's ordering in my name because he don't want to use his name.
It's a hypothetical, Chris.
No, I can't use your name in the old video store. That was.
I don't think that old video store is around
They were
anymore.
like, "Do you know a Ryan Hawthorne?" Like, I never heard of him. That guy's like, "Isn't he your brother?" I'm like, "Shh, no."
That's the only. If it ain't gonna benefit Chris, he ain't gonna use my name. If it'll benefit him, yeah, he'll slander that all over town. But honestly, I would just talk to Chris about it. I mean, really, what else could I do?
Yeah.
I mean, I'll just talk to Chris and like just be like, "What kind of person are you that you won't stop doing this?"
Just
We're
start,
brothers.
start shouting from the mountaintops. That's Chris. It's not me.
Yeah, I'd start following Chris around and pointing out his deeds and being like, "That's not me. I'm me."
He starts stalking you so you can intervene.
That's a pretty good one. I also have one since Chris is going to anchor this episode. Justin,
What?
you're walking through the park one day. You keep walking up to Chris's house. You look through the window as you often do, and as a lot of my hypotheticals go this way. You just take a glance in, realize Chris is taking a lot of photos of his feet. Now, for people that don't know, Chris wears a size 19 shoe. He has large feet. A lot of people admire him. A lot of people think they're amazing. And that is the problem. You find out that Chris has started an OnlyFans page. And on this OnlyFans, it's chock full of a lot of different compromising photos of himself. But his specialty are his ginormous feet and his tiny dong. No, that last part was just a joke. It's about his specialty are his feet. Now, somehow, Roseanne Barr, you know, the famous actress known for the Roseanne show and whatnot, becomes a huge fan of Chris's OnlyFans. And she is promoting him and everything. Before you know it, Chris blows up and becomes one of the number one cam boys out there today. Yes, he did.
Go on with it.
So Chris blows up, becomes one of the number one cam boys that's out there working the business today with his feet pics. Now, Justin,
Yeah.
you realize the kind of business that Chris is in. It's not exactly like the filthiest form of, like, say, pornography or anything, but he does service a very specific specialty market with his feet pics. And, of course, he also does some different types of nudity, like walking around naked, smashing watermelons, and just different things that his fan base enjoys. But Chris is raking in the money. This is making Chris famous, but it's also worth it to him because it's very lucrative for him. Now, Justin, this isn't based on any certain price because we're not going to talk about what your salary is in real life or anything like that. However, would it bother you to be associated with this type of business, like your name's attached to it, like that's what you're known for, if Chris brought you on as his manager and you were making 20% more yearly than you do right now? Whatever that is. We're not asking that question. Just whatever that is, add 20% to it yearly, that's what you would make. But basically, you'd be known for managing a porn star.
Chris the porn star.
Or, yeah, porn star / OnlyFans star / cam boy. Cam boy.
So what are you asking me?
You could take on the role as manager of Chris and take on that reputation.
Yeah.
That's what you'd be known for. That's what you'd be associated with. Or you could just continue to, work your job and be separate from him. You basically be tethering yourself to Chris, as far as how people look at you and know you. That's what you would be known for, as being the manager for the number one male foot model in the world.
Well, let's be honest. It doesn't matter if his manager or not, I'll be tethered to Cam Boy Chris.
Yeah, that is true. Chris would make sure Chris be using your name when he's doing those shoots. Oh, my name's Justin.
I'm his alias.
Yeah. What's your alias? Are you going by Hawthorne? Well, I'm going by Justin Hawthorne.
That's my alias.
That would be hilarious. I would die laughing if this really happened. His alias was Justin.
I like how both of our hypotheticals end up with Chris assuming our lives in a weird
That's
way.
all. It's Chris being a rascal in some way, shape, or fashion.
I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't be his manager just because of the fact that I really don't want to be associated with Chris's nakedness.
Yeah.
You guys have seen me naked all the time. Like it would be any different.
But I'm not taking pictures of it. I'm not pushing it on people. I'm not like, hey, Chris, check out camboychris.com.
Not charging everybody $15 a month.
This is where you're wrong. You're not technically pushing it. People are subscribing to this website, so they want to see it. So you don't have to push nothing.
You just have to be his representation.
Yeah, I don't think I could do it, Chris. I love you, but I don't think I can support your dirty habits.
Who says that's a dirty habit? I'm selling feet pics.
Well, this
And
could
more.
be a whole other can of worms.
He said there was some nudity.
And we're all adults here. Like, man, if they're into it, they're into
Hey,
it.
ladies, we're all adults here. Come on. Don't be shy. Yeah, we're not saying, and this is not like some sort of like weird debate of what's right and what's acceptable and what's not. This is just what I'm saying is this is what's going on, and would Justin want to be associated with it?
All I'm saying is, Chris, you can do what you want to do.
It's your body.
It's your body, Chris. If you want to put it out on the internet, that's your business. Just don't use my name.
Videos of you naked wearing a rooster mask walking through mashed potatoes. Hey, that's what your fan base wants.
But no, I wouldn't do it. I would just stay doing what I am doing now.
I would support you if you wanted to post nude online. I'd share it.
What if it was double what you make now? You're making twice as much a year.
I still don't think I could do it.
Really? That surprises
What
me.
if it was triple what you make right now?
$17 million.
Hold on, what if it was quadruple what you make right now?
So you're trying to figure out what my price is?
And for the future, he needs to know.
Yeah. Is there something you need to tell me, Chris?
You never know, boys.
Some of these hypotheticals are based in reality.
Fortunately, I've gotten naked so much. They ain't no telling what photos and stuff are out there that don't even that. Or then why do I do it?
Somebody else has a website created. It's all pictures of you. They're making a bundle.
Who knows? Who knows, boys?
Chris, what do you got?
It's funny because mine was actually very similar to Ryan's, which was weak crazy. Mine's going to be for the both of you. It is what if somebody approached us to wanting to start an OnlyFans page where we were going to be getting a guaranteed $10,000 a piece on this OnlyFans. But in this OnlyFans, it's not necessarily sexually explicit content because, it's content that we're going to be making together.
My
So
gosh.
it's like we're all naked, standing around like eating TV dinners maybe, or naked doing a podcast or whatever. But certain months you have we're all getting flat $10,000 a month. Certain months you have the opportunities to maybe we have a good month, you get $30,000. There's possibilities for growth depending on what.
So we could go down under 10 grand. Because I can't see that growing. I'm going to be honest with you.
But people seem to like it. It's catching on. There's always the potential. You're going to make a flat $10,000 no matter what a month. But we generate enough buzz and start say
Our naked podcast eating show's got a buzz.
say I smash a hoagie sandwich between my man boobs or something like that.
Oh my God. You're not making this sound better.
Or maybe y'all eat,
well,
get a
you
spoon and eat spaghetti sauce out of my belly button or something weird.
Chris is making paninis, smashing them under his man boobs.
And
We all have
to
to eat it.
I mean, but it's just you in a form of nakedness. or maybe you just, or you get in like, you get off individually and explore this to your own self, and maybe you could come up with different ideas and stuff. And you make,
But we have to be naked.
you make, yeah. I mean, it's gonna be very exploitive in that sense. Not necessarily you doing sexual acts, nothing like that, but it's nakedness is what it is. That's the selling point.
I don't think I could do it. I would love to have more money. I mean, of course, but I really just don't think I could do it. It'd be hard. It's one of those things where I'm so repulsed by the way I look. Like, it would be hard for me to live with myself knowing all that naked content was out there.
Yeah. I've got a family to think about.
The famous catalyst, Justin's family. Oh, J Sticks.
Not only would I not want to do that for the same reasons Ryan just said, but last thing I want is somebody to be talking to Elijah at school and be like, just saw your dad's junk all over the internet. He was sitting down eating a shrimp po' boy.
My dad made a cool 10 grand this month.
This is where I think.
Yeah, okay.
But here's the deal: it's a subscription-based service. So if people see it, you know that they are going to be the ones who subscribe to it.
Okay.
So, like, yeah, well, you're the one paying to see it.
Well, if little Johnny's talking to Elijah about his dad's wiener, then he probably also ain't going to care that he knows that his mamaw subscribed to it and he snuck on there and got the photo or saw the photo. He bring it around school, he's showing it to people. A piece of shrimp falling off on the ground.
All I'm saying is, I mean, I think okay, then what would it take? What 50? Let's just.
Chris is like, listen, the contracts have already been signed.
We
I'm
explore
sorry.
Ryan's. Well, we can't explore this. 50 grand
What
a
would
month.
it take?
No.
A month.
No.
Dude, this is one of those times when I gotta say it. Money is not everything.
50 grand a month to get naked on camera, and you boys are too good and proud to do that. Go screw yourself.
You don't understand.
All right,
You don't
I'm sick of
understand.
doing business with you.
You don't understand. It's like some things. I'm like, okay, you can make money doing some stuff. I'm like, well, heck yeah, of course. But some things, like for me, like it's not worth it if it's like just hard to live with. You know, it'd be hard for me to live with
How
that.
hard to live with? I don't think that would be hard to live with at all.
Well, that's you. That's why you got
We're
the
not
OnlyFans.
you, Chris.
We have shame.
What's your price to do this, Chris?
Chris is like, I'm doing it for free right now.
Oh, 10 grand? Yeah.
5.
5 grand a month.
An extra 5 on top
Extra
of your.
5.
Of course, your regular job might not be too pleased if they find out you're doing this.
I don't know. I don't know if I would do 5 grand. I would do 10 grand.
I just want to point out that 5 grand a month. Well, that's. I mean, I'm horrible at math, but that's an extra 60 grand a year on top of what you already make.
I don't know. I would do 5 grand would be like like I would have to start at 5K at least. And I would have to be making like at least 5K a month.
So you people out there wondering, that's Chris's price.
Yeah. You gotta send the contracts to the Heavyset Podcast at gmail.com. Chris will be waiting on it, checking it every day.
This is gonna. What if this was it? What if this was our chance to get to the big times, boys?
I'd be happy for you.
In the big leagues, y'all. But what if you're gonna have to make a cameo?
Clothed?
Wear your underwear.
Well, can I wear suspenders?
You're naked smashing grapes. Me and Ryan just walk through the scene.
Yeah.
You're just sitting there. I'm naked, but we're just all sitting on top. We're just making eye contact with me, and as we're not talking about nothing.
Hello, Chris. What are you doing today? I don't know. I walk on by.
So there. Basically, what you're saying is there is no price for you guys. 100 grand a month.
I'm sure.
You could do it for 1 year, but it's got to be a year basis. It's a year contract. If you don't honor the contract, they'll take all your money away.
So basically, 1.2 million. 100 grand.
1 year, 100K a month.
No.
I would have to really look at like what all is going to be expected of me. I mean, because the whole crust of this is like being honest about our answers. Now, if I'm making over $1 million, I would be more open to looking at what it would entail, go into it. But right now, I would still be leaning no. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But in all honesty, that would actually make me want to look into it and be like, okay, so what all is this exactly?
You know those little birthday things where you put your mouth and blow on it. It's like
noisemakers.
Ryan's first video is gonna put one of those in his cookies.
Okay, I can tell you right now, the answer would still be no.
Okay, all right, well, we're done. We're done.
He's gonna find out the price and find out how much he can push you to do.
Yeah, find out every episode I'm wearing the nipple tassels, but they got really long tassels on them. Like I walk, they're like tink a tink a tink a tink.
Those like foot long hot dogs that you gotta spin around.
What? I wouldn't know anything about that. Well, it's just such a different experience when Chris has nothing to say, but you can actually see him on camera. I'm used to seeing it doing the audio podcast, but it's a whole other thing. Hey, everybody, we appreciate you for watching or listening. Heavyset Podcast. I think that we're pretty close to wrapping it up, don't y'all think?
That sounds good to me.
As always, go to the Heavyset Podcast YouTube channel, hit the like button, subscribe, comment on a video, maybe something what you want, maybe you feel a certain way about this podcast episode, I don't know. And reach out to us at the heavysetpodcast@gmail.com. Send us an email, I'll check it, and we'll get back with you.
It does not fill me with confidence.
I always forget.
I'll check it.
No one sent us an email in a long time anyway. But yeah,
we ain't been back doing a regular episodes in a while.
And we also have the Heavyset Podcast Facebook group. So go ahead and join on in there, post some stuff, get a little silly, have a good time.
We also have Heavyset Go, where we review stuff. Y'all review stuff. A lot of times I'm not involved. Can't all be together for that. But if you have any ideas, places you want us or them to review or whatever, drop a line about that too.
Yeah, whatever ideas you got, whatever you want to see from us. If you would like to see something, let us know. Maybe we can make it happen. Maybe we can't. Who knows? So go out this week.
Drop a line. We can't.
Live a good life. Unless you say don't pose nude. I guess unless you want to pose nude. I don't know. That's up to you.
It's hot outside. Take care of yourself. Drink plenty of water. Be happy.
Hold the door for somebody. Kiss somebody on the lips. Make somebody feel good this week, J-Bud. J-Stick.
Oh, my God. No, yeah, J-Stick, you both showed the mics on my face. Want to thank everybody for watching this, for the support you've shown us. We just want to thank you all for all the feedback we've gotten. And you guys have a great week, great life.
All right, everybody. I say, bye.
You're really impressing me with how you was taking over the reins with all this. You're really impressing me. 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 You're really impressing me.
Ha 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 ha!